I like that look of money falling.
Yeah, it looks great.
Speaking of money, it is Financial Friday. KHQA financial expert Jeff Kennedy is with us in the studio, and we're talking about establishing a solid foundation for a financial plan. Welcome, Jeff.
Thanks, Rajah.
We're so excited to have you here. Now, income, of course, is the very first element of any plan, so protecting that income is vitally important. Less than 35% of Americans have insurance to protect arguably their most valuable asset from premature death. Why is that, Jeff?
In a word, procrastination, I guess you could say. Oftentimes misconceptions too. It's too expensive. I can always get it later. It's just for rich people or what have you. But really oftentimes it's just the unanswered questions about life insurance that keep people from doing something. For example, the most common questions are perhaps, when do I need to have it, or should I even have it, life insurance? And then secondly, how much should I have?
So how do you answer those questions?
Well, I answer the first question with a question, right? If you have someone in your life that's depending on your income, then you probably need life insurance to help you fulfill the obligations that you've made in case you're not around to do that. The second question is a little tougher in terms of how much should you have. People generally think about covering debt obligations, perhaps, final expenses like a funeral and so forth, but they overlook very important areas like paying for kids' college that they would have done if they were around, or the biggie is replacing income, right? So I give people kind of a rule of thumb. If nothing else, you should have a minimum of about 10 times your annual income. Now that may seem like a lot at first, but people often underestimate, the value of their earning potential over time. Consider a 40-year-old with about a $50,000 a year income. He stands to earn well over $1 million in the remainder of his career. So that rule of thumb of 10 times income is less than half of what his actual earnings potential is. So it's really hard to be overinsured in this area. And it's cheap these days, with life expectancy tables being as long as they have, or being adjusted recently. The price of life insurance is pretty inexpensive, and it's really easy to have the right amount of insurance these days.
I mean, it sounds like a very important and simple plan. What are some gotchas when it comes to getting life insurance?
Well, of course, you got to qualify health-wise, and price is based on your age. So don't put this decision off. You need to get it while you can, and now's a great time, like I said, with prices coming down like they have recently.
I think people just don't want to talk about their death or think about their death.
Right. That is part of it. Immortality. We think, well, that'll never happen to me. But we see, even with instances with Senator Kirk here just recently, things like that, a stroke that can happen out of the blue when you're not least expecting it. He seems pretty fit. We all think that we're invincible, so
that's right. Well, you're going to be with us every Friday. We're very happy about that. And tonight I found out he was a pilot. He used to fly fighter pilots. But what are we going to talk about next week?
Well, there's one more area of vital importance of protection that's often neglected regarding this income issue, protecting income. And so we'll address that before we move on up to talk about some of the more fun things up the financial planning pyramid. But we'll cover all the bases before we're through.
All right. Thank you for protecting our money, Jeff. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.